You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, General Hospital fans. Belinda here, and we need to discuss whether Dex Heller sticks around Port Charles and if he's finally going to get a big daddy reveal. Ever since the young hunk came to the ABC soap, there has been speculation about whether he might be adopted, given his complicated family backstory, and questions of whether the writers will eventually assign him a more soap-famous father than the one that's been mentioned in his past. So let's dig in and talk about this, but please click subscribe if you haven't yet. All right. This has been a pretty rough week for Dex. Even though he was brought to town by Michael Corinthos to get the goods on Sonny Corinthos to send him to federal prison, Dex's feelings about the mob boss have evolved significantly since he first came to town with orders to target him. This is well beyond a bromance. We have seen Sonny and Dex develop an almost father-son type of relationship. I mean, that's kind of a common thread with Sonny. He's bonded with other young guys, like when Jason Morgan first came to him when he was young and had that brain damage. Sonny had a very strong relationship with Stone Cates, Jagger's little brother that died of AIDS. Remember, Sonny even let TJ Ashford live with him for a while when he was on the outs with his mom, Jordan. Maybe it's something to do with Sonny's own abusive and tumultuous childhood where his dad, Mike, the compulsive gambler, wasn't around that much, and Sonny was subjected to abuse at the hands of his awful stepfather. No matter the reason, Sonny and Dex had bonded deeply. People even joked that Dex saw Sonny as his soulmate because he had so much affection for him, and he has put his life on the line to protect Sonny in the past. I saw somebody asking on Soap social media today, what has Dex ever done to protect Sonny? Well, I didn't bother to answer then because I don't like getting into arguments on Twitter, but I will answer now. If you remember, Dex took a bullet for Sonny in that warehouse shooting. He literally put himself in the line of fire more than once. Sonny has put himself in the line of fire for Dex as well. I think Dex has been shot twice doing things for him, if I recall correctly. I think he was shot in the warehouse and then when he was bodily protecting Sonny from the sniper. And then another time when he was orchestrating that prison break thing, he wound up shot. So that was when Jocelyn wound up taking care of him. So I still don't see, though, how Sonny and Dex can ever get back to that father-son vibe that they shared. Now that Michael confessed everything, after Carly clearly gave Mikey a heads up that she had to tell him the truth to stop him from killing Dex, we also saw Jocelyn trying to talk to Dex. She wanted him to leave town because they both are very worried Sonny might still kill him now that he knows he was on Michael's payroll and planning to send him to prison. Joss ran off to try and intervene with Sonny, but she missed her ex-stepfather at his apartment because he was on his way to Dex's place to obviously hash some things out, sling some more accusations. I don't even know. Dex is probably scared Sonny might kill him in his own place. And of course, that came after Sonny's tense conversation with Michael where he called him Judas. Clearly, this whole thing is quite a mess. Everybody is talking about all the time Sonny has betrayed and hurt Michael. I agree. I mean, Michael wound up shot in the head because of him. So what's really twisted in all this is I know Dex would probably like to keep working for Sonny, but it's just hard to see how he could let Dex stay. The bottom line, he's been lying and spying for almost 2 years. Other guys in the mob group know that. It's just not a good look. However, all that being said, I feel like Dex is going to survive this and Evan Hofer is going to stick around. He is on contract. And that brings us back around to the ongoing conversations that began when they first cast Evan as Dex about whether he might have a family tie in Port Charles. In fact, a lot of fans have speculated whether he might be Sonny's son for a while. Heaven knows Sonny doesn't need more kids, but he is a fertile myrtle who just sprays sperm around and impregnates random women. I've seen people asking whether he might be Cyrus's secret son or some sort of Cassadine. I mean, every single name of every male old enough to be his dad has been dredged up at one point or another. But a recent recast on General Hospital sparked a whole new set of questions about Dex's backstory and whether there might be a possible change in his lineage. Right now, what we know is Dex's parents were not great. His dad was running around and cheating. I believe he was abusive, if I recall correctly. He said holidays were miserable, and his two brothers used to bully Dex and physically abuse him. He just had a horrible home life. So all that is part of why people wonder if Dex might have another daddy, and the dad he grew up with was abusing him because he knew he wasn't his biological child. Like maybe he was adopted, or maybe his mom cheated, something like that. Right now, the two top candidates everybody's talking about as Dex's possible daddies are Jason Morgan, who's about to be back in Port Charles, and Jagger Cates, who prefers to be called John now that he just came back to Port Charles. In a recent conversation with Soap Digest, they asked Evan Hofer if he had heard fans talking about him getting another daddy. And the actor said, yeah, he has seen them talking about both Jagger Cates and Jason Morgan as possible biological fathers for his characters. What's pretty funny is they then ask him whose son he would want Dex to be. He said he has met Adam Harrington, that's the new John Cates on the ABC soap, and said he's a nice guy. He said he's not shot any scenes with Steve Burton, but did get a hug from him at work, which is very cute. So it is funny because a lot of people like to call him Baby Jason or, Stone Cold Jr., things like that. So what I found interesting is Evan said he really doesn't understand enough about the show's history to know who he would want to be Dex's father, but he said that whatever the writers decide sounds good to him. That little tidbit right there almost gives me hope that maybe the GH writers are going to assign him a local father tied to one of the major families in town. Of course, they don't always have to do that, but it's kind of nice when they do because it gives newer characters a link to history and to past characters. And I think it enriches the character canvas if it's done right and if it makes sense. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see because they may leave Dex with just a crappy, sad childhood backstory and not offer him any additional family in Port Charles at all. But we can hope and we can think and we can speculate. Hey, please click subscribe if you haven't already and drop your comments. And please be sure to come back soon because we are here talking General Hospital 7 days a week. And as always, it is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.